Welcome to OFFBounds, everyone. This is your weekly retail podcast and brings in every episode a new conversation about retail with executives that are hands-on driving the change and innovation around the world. This episode, though, is here with a different purpose because as the world and technologies evolve, we as a media company have to evolve with it as well. Today, we'll talk about AI and how it is allowing us to grow the business to something a lot more than a podcast and how you can be part of it. Here's Paula Macaggi, and this is episode 117 of my show. Welcome to OFFBounds. First of all, let's stop here to celebrate all the 117 episodes that we have published. Just to give you some perspective, half of all podcast launch stop at episode 3 or fewer. Only about 8% of podcasts make it past 10 episodes. And to make it to the top 1%, you just need to publish 20 to 21 episodes. So a big congrats to our team that works so hard to bring a new episode to our audience every week for years. All that to say that all these interviews recorded with guests from more than 30 countries are a rich source of knowledge, strategy, and leadership for modern retail. We have more than 70 hours of relevant content, and if you haven't heard about us before the first episode back in January 2024, you will very likely not listen to all these hours, right? So here comes the fun part. What if I told you that you can have the insights from all OFFBounds episodes available to you without having to spend hours listening to them? And more, what if I told you that given all our conversations, we identified key trends, created what is relevant in the news, and made it all available in one spot? But before I tell you what we built, I need to give you some context. Because this didn't happen in a vacuum. I want to take you back to January 2025 when we went to NRF here in New York. NRF is probably the most relevant conference in retail in the world with 40,000 attendees, over 100 countries, and 1,000 exhibitors on the floor. I've talked about the event in a recap episode, which is number 55 if you want to go back to listen to it. In that episode, I described how I walked that floor and kept seeing the same word everywhere. Agent, AI agents, Agentic AI. And at first, I thought, okay, another buzzword, but then I came home and picked up the book, The Coming Wave by Mustafa Silliman. He is the co-founder of DeepMind, probably one of the people who literally invented this technology. And there's a passage I highlighted back then, and it gave me a full picture of how the world was about to change. So in this book on page 76, he said that very soon within the next year with some human intervention and in 3 to 5 years completely autonomously, we'll be able to ask our agent, go make 1 million on Amazon in a few months just with a $100,000 investment. So an AI would research what is trending, find products, contact manufacturers, negotiate contracts, design the listings, update marketing based on buyer feedback, all of it. This book was published in 2023. His prediction of 3 to 5 years is happening right here, right now, and in 2026, we're living it. Then came November 2025, OpenClaw launched a platform that lets you deploy real AI agents with memory, tools, and the ability to act across systems. And that was the first time I could actually see working. Not as a chatbot, not a copilot, something that actually acts. And then came the Anthropic boom. Claude got more powerful. Everyone started building. Developers, operators, entrepreneurs, and people who had never written a line of code were spinning up agents. And that's when I saw the real power of it. It wasn't just about automating tasks, it was about delegating actions. And while most people were still debating whether AI would change things, some people were already running experiments. Sheesh Strider, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, is my good friend and a retail technologist, built a fully autonomous store this week. And I'll say it again, he built it this week. He got 3 AI agents working together. One scouts the internet for a trending cultural moment, other generates cultural product artwork from those trends, and a third uploads finished products to a live store with titles, description, and pricing. No human intervention beyond the initial setup. She's reporting his findings on how to operate these autonomous stores, and you should totally follow him on LinkedIn to learn more. He shared with us a video of his agents communicating to create his products live. It's super interesting. He shared that he's planning to add 2 more agents to the workflow, one for intellectual property and cultural responsibility screening, and one for automated multi-channel marketing across Instagram, Facebook, and beyond. And actually, another 2 cases happened in these last few weeks. There was like a real functioning store run by agents. Endon Labs is a startup in San Francisco. It gave an AI agent named Luna a corporate credit card, internet access, and $100,000 and told her to open a physical retail store. Luna put up job listings on Indeed, she conducted phone interviews, she hired employees, she found contractors to paint the store. She named it Endon Market, stocked it with books and branded merchandising, and opened the doors. Business Insider covered it. And then Endon Labs did it again, this time in Stockholm. They signed a lease for a cafe, handed it to an AI named Mona, and watched. Mona read the lease, generated a full compliance checklist, registered the food books with Stockholm's municipality, sent quotes to coffee suppliers, hired baristas, and opened a cafe. In Europe, with all the bureaucracy that comes with it. These are not science fiction. These actually is happening right now. It wasn't all flowers though. There were many wins, but a lot of loss too. All the links to these stories are in our show notes. Now, I'm sure you were thinking, startup experiments are one thing. What about a functioning company with hundreds of stores, thousands of SKUs, and real customers walking through the door every day? In March, I was at Shoptalk Spring and watched a panel with 2 operators who are doing this inside real businesses right now. Andy Laudato is the COO of Vitamin Shoppe, and he has been a guest here on the show, so he's not strange to us. They have 650 stores across the United States. Andy didn't start by asking, how do we use AI? He started by asking, how do we give our customers better access to the knowledge we already have? Vitamin Shoppe has thousands of articles on nutrition, supplements, and health. That content existed. Getting to it was the problem. So they built something called Shop Advisor, which is an AI-powered touchscreen in their New York store. You walk in, type, I want to sleep better, or I want to build muscle. And the AI searches every piece of content that they have and surfaces relevant products, videos, and articles. It was built in just 2 weeks using AI to write the code. And now, store associates are bringing customers over to use it together, not replacing the conversation, but actually making it richer. Andy said something simple and that kept me thinking about. AI won't take away your job. It will take away the worst part of your job. And then there is Kevin Harwood, who is the CTO of Tecovas. They sell Western boots and apparel. They were born digital and now with 60 physical stores and growing. Kevin talked about their inventory problem. So, cowboy boots come in 13 sizes in regular width and 13 in wide. This is 26 combinations per color to add to the complexity. Boot boxes are big and backstock rooms are super tight. And as the company scaled, the allocation decisions became impossible to manage manually. Kevin ran a control pilot last Q3. He split his stores into 2 groups and had AI manage inventory allocation in one category, humans in other, and then he flipped it. So 8 weeks later, they observed 9.6% revenue lift in the categories managed by AI, better in-stock rates, and then he built Boot Runner, which is an app that lets the store associates request sizes from the backstock room without leaving the customer side. Before was radio calls, chaos on a busy Saturday, associates disappearing while a customer was waiting alone. Now, the associates stay present and the right boots show up in front of the customer in an average of 85 seconds. That app was built in 36 hours with AI. When the moderator asked Kevin if AI had removed the development resources constraint that had held retail back for decades, his answer was 100% yes. Think about what that means. Think about the backlog, the roadmap, all the months waiting for one feature to ship. Gone. His team is delivering features to production the same day they are requested from the field. These are operational decisions inside functioning businesses. The question was never whether AI would reach retail. It already has. The question is, what are you going to do with it? So I asked myself the same question about OFFBounds. What does a media company built for the AI era actually look like? And the honest answer is, I don't fully know yet. We created OFFBounds Intelligence as an experiment, a real one, live on the internet, that I'm learning from every week. Some things are working better than I expected, some things I'm still figuring out. But that's exactly the point. Because the businesses that will win with AI are the ones that started, shipped something, and learned from it. So here is what we've built so far. OFFBounds Intelligence is a retail news platform built specifically for operators. The audience we already have of CEOs, CTOs, VPs, and executives that are actually running the businesses. Every day, it serves as the signals that matter, turns them into editorial stories, and connects them to insights from over 100 retail executives who have been guests on the show. It lives at offbounds.tv and is free to access. Think of it as having a senior analyst on your team whose only job is to read the entire retail market every morning and tell you what you actually need to know to make better decisions. And unlike a generic news feed, every story is grounded in real operator voices from our own archive. That's what it is. Let's see how it works. OFFBounds Intelligence runs on a stack of AI agents. Each one has a specific job. And they don't wait for me to wake up. So every morning at 9 a.m. EST, they go to work automatically. The whole thing is built on a platform called OpenClaw, which is an AI agent operating system. Think of it as the infrastructure that lets you deploy agents with real tools, real memory, and the ability to act across different systems and AI models. That's what powers Boss, the agent who helped me research, fact-check, and co-write this very own episode. Here's how the pipeline runs. Every single day at 9 a.m., we have this scraper agent. He reads hundreds of retail news sources simultaneously, several RSS feeds from all trusted news sources. Everything published in the last 24 hours filtered for what is relevant to retail operators. At 9:03, the LinkedIn Signal agent searches LinkedIn posts from several top retail analysts in the world, about 74 fresh analyst signals every day. At 9:05, our intelligence agent takes all those signals and looks for patterns, not just what happens today, but what's changing structurally. What operators need to know before it becomes consensus. Then at 9:10, the content agent picks the strongest signals and formats them to the homepage, which is the live feed you see when you visit offbounds.tv. Then at 9:15, 9:25, and then 9:35 a.m., the story agent works 3 times, back to back. Claude reads the signals, searches our entire transcript archive from 112 retail OFFBounds guests, and writes a full editorial story. All of them with sources and with an OFFBounds take, in the voice and standards that we've built over 117 episodes. Everything goes into a pending queue. That's where I come in. I read every story, I edit the headline, the framing, the take, I approve what gets published, and I decide what leads. The APIs powering all of this is Anthropic Claude for writing and analysis, SERP API for analysis signals, Perplexity AI for analyst research, Redis for real-time data storage, OpenClaw is the agent runtime, and we have 6 agents and 7 APIs for one editorial pipeline. And I really want to make something clear here. OFFBounds Intelligence is not here to replace journalism. The reporters at the news outlets are the ones who work on going out, finding the story, verifying the facts, and holding companies accountable. We respect and strongly support journalism. Its work matters and will never be replaced. Our humanity depends on it. What we do here is different. We read what they publish and we connect it. We surface the pattern across 10 stories from 10 different sources that you don't have time to read. We link it back to what a Carrefour CTO or a Loblaw CDO actually said about it in their own words on this show. And we translate it into something an operator can act on today. We are not replacing the news. We are making it useful and faster for the people running the businesses. Now, here's why I'm telling you all of this. Not to show off what we built, but because I genuinely believe that the professionals who lead the next decades are the ones who start working with agents now. When it's still messy, not so polished, while the rules aren't written yet. If your company isn't ready for it, I recommend that you start on it on your own. Personally, the skills that you build managing an agentic workflow, understanding how to prompt, how to connect tools, how to delegate tasks to a machine, those skills are becoming as fundamental as knowing how to use email or Excel was 20 years ago. The teams of the future won't just be humans. They'll be humans who know how to work with agents. And the people who figure that out first will have an enormous advantage. So here goes my advice. Try, fail, and then try again. There's no better time than right now, and the barrier to entry has never been lower. I can tell you this from my personal experience because I don't just use AI agents at work, I actually will use one at home. His name is Jamie, and Jamie helps us manage our household. He helps plan our grocery list, organizes our trip schedules, and keeps track of our fitness routine. Things that used to take time, back and forth, mental load, Jamie just handles it. And I'll be honest with you, the first few weeks were a little awkward. You feel slightly ridiculous talking to an agent about your grocery list. But then something shifts and you realize you haven't forgotten to buy soap in 3 weeks. Your trip is planned 2 days before you leave instead of the night before. Your Tuesday workout is already on your calendar. The point isn't the grocery list. The point is, once you start working with agents, we start seeing it differently. You start asking, what else can I delegate? Where am I spending energy that a system could handle? And that instinct is exactly what every business leader needs right now. So go to offbounds.tv. The platform is live. The newsletter is free. Subscribe. You will receive our briefing to the top signals and trends in our industry right in your email. So you get what you need to start your day. And if you want to go further, we have a beta available for testing. If you are a retail operator, an executive, a technologist, or someone working in the industry and want to try this platform to help us make it better, reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or send me an email at ideas@offbounds.tv. Your feedback is how this gets better, and we are not just building for you, we are building with you. I am Paula Macaggi. This is OFFBounds. See you next week.